You know what I mean? Look at those teeth, dude. Oh my goodness. He's horrible. He's horrifying. He's got two little friends up there too. Jesus Christ. So Fast Car by Tracy Chapman was going to be the original song because to me it was the antithesis of being an evil robot. This song is like the most human, the most sincere and like yearning song that I could think of. It would make better sense in the story because Hoob Satan would get pissed at them for doing the on the nose thing and he would eliminate them. I think that Hoob Satan would really enjoy Fast Car by Tracy Chapman. I think he would enjoy the robots dancing to that. So I had to change it for it to make more narrative sense. And started in March 2023. Thank you very much. Shout out Tim, shout out Chris. Stuff. I went to this little lake that we got near town. Very scary. I went at night when it was freezing cold so nobody would bother me. And then kapow, deliver that. So this is the tavern. Yeah. No, it's an interesting idea. Why is it not on random? Yuck, no. There we go. Okay. Get out of my face, man. All right. So I think this was just the very first. I was like, oh, yep. Okay, I'm not sure why the monkey head is there. I think this is also where I messed up because there was one point where I realized, and this is when I got all the way in shot 24 when they're flying from the tavern all the way. They're flying over. When they get here, I realize that each bat is half the size of the door, the front gate. I have the screenshots of what I'm looking for is the how it slowly became this from the reference pictures from Elden Ring. Because I started out with just cubes, you know, like you saw in the mock-up, but eventually I did this. These stairs are ridiculous. This whole thing, like, this is just so stupid, but I love it. Yes, the well. And this fucking thing, which I don't think you even see in the movie, but this is a real place. This is from Castell Cartocha. Right here in town, dude. You know what I mean? Yes, sir. Oh, Christ. I'm like, listen, man, they probably put that thing up in the 60s, but whatever, dude. It sure looks like it belongs. You know what I mean? How did I make this? Clonk and Blanc, yeah, Clonk and Blanc, the Dracula twins. They got turned to stone by the Dread Medusa spirit way back in the day. Give me this. They're individual pieces. What am I thinking? This thing, God knows what purpose it serves, but holy fuck, does it look cool. And this is from, again, El Castell Cartocha. Fantastic place, you know what I mean? And look, I'm looking at this picture, I'm like, this shit is wonky, dude. How do you make stuff wonky? Right here, proportional editing, okay, you wonkify it with taste, you know, not like this. Just doing this for demonstration purposes. I would never do something as ridiculous as that. But yeah, you know what I mean? Quite proud of this, quite proud. This door, I mean, this door's a real door. You know what I mean? It's a real door. These steps, don't ask me about these steps, okay? We're just gonna ignore those, all right? This stuff, and my brother knows this because he was with me when I went on my crusade at Parguel to investigate these rinky-dink little edges, because how does a pillar like this in a real castle intersect the floor in real life? And I was thinking I had to do some like texturing wizardry, you know, to like get everything to work together. But no, like when you look at these things, and I'll put a picture up right here. When you look, this thing is sitting in a hole and it's filled with concrete. It's like a little sandwich, you know? And so that's what I did. And that was very intentional because in Talisman, if you look, I didn't pay any goddamn attention to that at all. it's just bam. It just hits like that. You know what I mean? Or as they say here, like that. So, I mean, crazy. Yes, Louis the 14th, dude. I busted my ass on these chairs, and you see them for like, you don't even see them. But like, look at this thing. I mean, it's beautiful. Like, this is fit for a Dracula, man. You know what I mean? Oh, I was gonna embellish them. I was gonna embellish this here. But then I was like, nobody's gonna fucking see this shit. It doesn't matter. Where are the hearts? Yes, there they are. Hearts, one with a little munch taken out of it. Telltale sign of a Boolean. An n-gon of n sides. Lord have mercy. This structure here, this is also Castel Cartoche. I can put up the photo right there. So yeah, now let's talk about the elephant in the room. This masterpiece. It's Satan presiding over the Eternal Council for structural geometry inspiration, plus a bit of the decoration on the throne itself. I said, no, I gotta make it a star throne, the throne of night, because they are vampires, and it's gotta be like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a little, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a, shout out Dave Makes a Movie, because that's where I got the technique to do the noise nebula look for the. I will talk about this. Look at that. Like, look at that, dude. I mean, come on, bro. You know what I mean? So, shout out Steve Johnson for your paper texture thing. I don't remember where I got these. I'm so sorry. Do I have it? I should. Values? I try. Listen, I try. I'm aware of the theory vaguely. I do my best because it really does help. Where's the light coming from? It's coming from over there. What is this? This is a ball. This is another ball. What is this? A weird beveled rectangle. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, look, we've got another rectangular prism right here. This flat box. You know what I mean? So these pillars are both Sagrada Familia, but also the Castel Cartoche as well. Hold on, let me pause this. Okay. A chandelier. Oh yeah, Skyrim. Oh my god, the Skyrim stuff was hilarious because I was like, the Elden Ring, like, I had beaten Elden Ring, right? Like the most boring ending, I think, according to my friends who've beaten it more times than I have. I had already beaten it, and I went back while I was making this as a tourist to take pictures. It's super funny because, you know, the locals were not very happy with me. They kept trying to kill me, and I was just trying to take pictures. So I did that in Elden Ring for the outside of the castle, but then on the interior, I was like, what vampire castle do I have in my near proximity that I could pay a visit to? Obviously, Castle Volkihar in Skyrim. And, like, listen, I'm going to be so honest right now. It is ugly. Castle Volkihar, I was like, when you look closely and you're not, like, you know, going 1,000,000 miles an hour to try and finish these quests and stuff, when you, like, actually stop and take a look at stuff, it's like, holy shit. It's kind of ugly. Like, what is this? I remember specifically the floor. When I stopped and looked at the tiles, I'm like, what the fuck is this? And then I look up at the chandelier, and I'm like, what the You guys are immortal, and you have, like, infinite money, and this chandelier? And then I went into Elden Ring, and I don't even remember where. I think, oh god, I have the screenshots of it. I'll just put it up. Some nerd will tell me where it is. that's a fucking chandelier. You know what I mean? I was like, that's a chandelier. Like, this pathetic piece of crap. Like, no way, dude. So I was enthralled by those chandeliers in Elden Ring, but I was like, dude, that would take me like a month to do it to the level of intricacy that I would want. So I'm just not gonna do that. You know what I mean? I'm just not gonna do that. So I didn't, and you know, it turned out fine. 14th, I think so. Pretty sure that was the reference object for these things. Louis XIV, the throne of Louis XIV. But I looked at it, I was like, what the fuck? Originally, that was supposed to be the reference for this throne was Louis the 14th throne, and the chair from Castle Volkihar, dude, because I went in there and I looked. And I'm also, again, what the fuck is this? It's a goddamn seat. That's not a throne, dude. This is a throne, okay? That's a throne. This is a fucking chair, which is why I relegated it to being a fucking dinner table chair, because that's what it is. You expect me to believe that this is fit for a king? Dude, this is the throne? Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. That's a dinner table chair, man. Look at this. This is your napkin. You will wipe your little mouth on this, you know what I mean? After you've munched on hearts. It's not a throne. That's a throne, okay? John Martin, thank you again, a million times, dude. Let's check the topology on this thing. Here, the concrete filling, because that intersection otherwise would be extremely rough. And, you know, obviously when you look closer, this intersection is quite rough. In real life, it just kind of I don't even know how to explain it. I can't really do that. But there's no line. It's just, I don't know how to explain that. I'm sure there's a technical way to explain this. There are no edges. There are no lines. They're emergent. They're an illusion. Now it's time for hell, dude. There she is in all her glory. Okay. Listen. Let's start here. John Martin, you son of a bitch. John Martin, you son of a bitch. You did it again. You motherfucker. This thing was awesome to do because fuck. How did I even... This one I really got into flow state with it. I was having such a blast making this thing, dude. Using the painting. I might have a screenshot of the orthographic view, like the front orthographic view of me making that thing. But dude, not bad. Okay, not bad. Look at it. Look. And the coolest part was I learned here. So if we take edge mode and we go in here, shrink Alt S, shrink and fatten, but proportional editing, so you get you get it. You know what I mean? And just look at this fucking idiot. Like, Jesus Christ, look at him. I can turn the bloom off. Kind of excessive. Look at this fucking moron. I mean, holy shit. Find it. There it is. Jesus Christ, what's it doing all the way down there? So this is, in theory, how I controlled the spotlight. So I just grab the thing, and there he goes. We got a, you know? And we got, who? Satan! Yeah. I'm so proud of these arches. I think they look fantastic. Again, stolen directly from Jesus, do I not even know the name of the painting? It's right here. Quick segue into Satan's room. These arches right here. These arches. And like, I think the first 4 or 5 or 6 times I looked at this painting, I didn't notice this fucking dome in the back. I thought, like, everything became so much more enormous when I was like, that shit is so big, it is fading into the distance. Like, that's part of it, dude. That's one dude. Look. 1, 2, 3, 4 dudes. Excuse me? Excuse me, dude? Come on. Look, there he is. Oh my goodness gracious. You know, I mean, come on, man. It's fantastic. Fantastic. Let me undo that. Well, I guess now that we're here, we can look at Satan's room. Look at this. Look at these pillows. These pillows. Look at this nightstand. Look at this bed. Look at this bed. It can't possibly be comfortable. And look, oh wow. And supposedly, I think based on what I've read, that dome is this. This is the inside of that dome, which is crazy to think about. Can I undo that? Yeah. And look at him. There he is. That is the inspiration for the Dracula's throne. And oh, what's this? Holy shit. Whoa. Reference drawing. We got Lord Sahablo, Papalardo, Thornton, Montrusler, Zambino, and Wisbo. Now you might look at Papalardo and say, well, why does Papalardo not have the pauldrons or whatever you would call this? And that's because he's an intern. This was like, this goddamn book was such a nightmare. I hated every second, every frame that thing is on screen. Here is the recipe. Grand Dracula Horkheimer's pineapple upside down cake. There. They escaped into the forest before I could exact my vengeance upon them. And here we have the comments on the recipe website. So you know, there's a bit of backstory here. There's a bit of backstory, bit of world building in the comments of the allrecipes.com. Going to be impervious to the wear and tear on the surface. This is all symmetry tool here. I'm not drawing that 4 times. So I really should. If I want to be anything like John Martin, I really should, shouldn't I? Because I thought it looked neat, and it kind of does. I love the VU meter. I'm going to move it over here so you can see. That was the original. Yes, look, the E on Elroy's forehead does not stand for evil. Oh my God. I could probably roll the clip here.
A lot of people's been asking me about Yubao Papawasi, the evil artificer created the evil robots. Not much I can say about him right now. Yubao Papawasi, really evil guy. I think he was creating those robots to go through a portal that his minions would repeatedly die going through. So he opened a portal somehow. It's a crazy portal. And his minions kept dying. So what he had to do was create robots so that they could go through the portal and report back on what happened. And obviously, what was through that portal was really important. So he had to create life forms. And because of that, all the gods hate him because he created life. He should.
Yubao Papawasi. This might be one of... I mean, I've invented my fair share of good names, of solid names, very iconic names, okay? Very good names. But Yubao Papawasi, dude, wow. Wow. That's all I can say. How? So here, I'll illustrate it. I'll illustrate it. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I was listening to Bring Me Your Cup by UB40. Now, I was looking at this on my phone. I said UB40. Obviously, 4 is A. This we all know. 4 is A because 4 is A. So what would this be? Be Ubão. Ubão. Portuguese, Brazilian Portuguese. Brasil campeão do mundo de futebol. Ubão. That's a name. And I said, wait a minute. How would I turn Ubão into something legible and clear? Well, obviously, Ubão Papa Wassi. So, Ubão Papa Wassi. Isaac Asimov, if you've read anything by him in the Foundation series, those names are ridiculous. And I don't know, maybe I've read this, I don't know. I think that's George Lucas kind of, you know what I mean? He kind of from Isaac Asimov, just like I did, for the Star Wars name. You know what I mean? Like the rhythm of the names is very specific, and so Ubão, it's begging for a name that goes taka taka, Papa Wassi. It's begging for it. So already, I think Papa is one of the Papa Lardo. I mean, come on, dude. It really is one of the funniest phonemes out there. Papa Wassi. I mean, that's just the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Ubão Papa Wassi. Okay. And oh my Lanta, last but not least, Kilroy, the first generation, the older model. Ooh, Dr. Octopus, you know what I mean? Dr. Octopus. Oh dear, don't go that far. But yeah, the evil robots, gotta love them. Of course. Here's everybody. This is my laboratory where I built everybody's heads. He's the guy who dives through the window. Why does he feel confident that he can dive through the window? Well, the demons, man, they got those ridiculous tusks. How did I do it? Child of constraint to a specific vertex group on the demon head. The eager beaver intern, of course, he's going to be in the lead, sprinting. Zambino, the professional, he's going to be moving like an anime character. I tried to do like fucking from Ed and Eddie, Double D, I think was his name. He runs like this. I was trying to channel that a little bit with Wizbo. And like, dude, not to toot my own horn. I mean, I'm tooting my own horn, but I'm an incredible dancer. Like, holy fuck. Some of the shit that I'm doing, dude, holy fucking shit. And I don't even... Like, now that I'm trying to animate it, I'm like, holy fuck, he really is the greatest dancer. Jesus Christ. I mean, look at this. Are you kidding me? Holy fuck. My biggest influence for the intention with which I set out the sound design and the Foley was the game Teardown. I mean, like, they sell the illusion of being in a world made up of little voxels with this sound design technique that I think is called ray traced audio. I read an article about it because I was so fascinated. I played through the whole game, right? And I'm just like, every second of being in there is like eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. And, you know, the first playthrough, I just kind of enjoyed it. I was just like, oh my God, the sound design is amazing. And then, like, the second or third time I'm in there, I'm doing the playthrough, I'm like, like how did they do this? Because it wasn't just like, oh, I enter a space and the reflections match. Like, everything is simulated, so they have to have some kind of system to automate the transitions between reflection times. And I mean, how is this updating dynamically? Like, how is this possible? So I looked it up. Just like ray tracing with light, ray tracing for reflections. And so that was what I tried to do. And so to help with that, I organized each setting by its acoustic environment. So here's the tavern, for example. This is one acoustic environment of the tavern. Wooden room, easy. That is a reverb preset right here. Wooden room. Jenga moving around in there. Perk, yeah, yep. E-perk. This is from the, hold on. Steve's. E-perk. I'll try to find more instances of me just using random drum hits in there, but you know, it works. Because I cut, and I cheated like this a lot. Instead of animating everything, I would cut, and outside of the frame is when stuff would be happening between the transitions. So in the scene, when they're scrambling, all the tables are still on the normal orientation, I guess, on four legs. But when you cut back to them in entrenched mode, the tables have flipped and the bottles are smashed on the ground. So I tried to communicate that idea sound-wise. So these are all the beer bottles that were on the table that got flipped, hitting the ground. Boom. Of the Foley box for the outside footsteps. The wing flaps here. It's a pillowcase. It's old ancient pillowcase. There's the utility. Goes from 36L back to the right. In this shot, it's on the left side of the screen, so here we are in the left. And on the next shot, it's on the right side of the frame. In the distance, you're not getting any of the origin rays. All you're getting is reflections. That's my hand on a rock. Is any footsteps of the hooves on any material? It's just my hand. I mean, they're marshmallows. They're made out of marshmallows, so this is the closest thing. Yeah, this is a lot. So look, here we go. So buttons from my flashlight. I don't know if you can hear that. Hand sanitizer, the hand sanitizer bottle. That's a good one. Lighter. And the milk frother. I used the milk frother several times. I'll show it off later. That's the milk frother. And a marker. Marker pitched down. As you can see, 15 half steps. Woof. The vacuum. What button of the vacuum? Oh, yeah. That vacuum is sitting there. The domino box. Oh, yes. This is crucial because the domino box... Here, I can go find it. Hold on. I definitely tossed the domino box, but it's a wooden box with a top that slides like this. So, importantly, I'm looking at the animation here. And that slide is pretty important. Ideally, it would be metal on metal, but all I had was... all I could think of. I probably had something I could have MacGyvered together, but the box, the top, it's just the top sliding, pitch down. And then what else? The VCR gear things. Yes, so that's on a tape, on a VHS tape. Me pushing in the gears. And the oven buttons. Let's see. That's a good sound. See, it's kind of quiet. Yeah. More oven buttons. It's quite good. That's quite good. Okay, and I did this trick that I don't know what video tutorial I got it from, but the way to like make it's really convoluted. It's super convoluted. You have to use a simple delay set to time, and then you just right click on it. Jesus Christ. You right click on it, boom, repitch. It's set to repitch. So now, when I do this, I'm changing the time. So that's what I did for when he activates the... That's the milk frother. You know what I mean? Thruller. What was this one? Broken brass, prophet strings, because of course. Bass, what do I use for the bass? Bob's bass, of course. Yes, naturally. But yeah, I can't think of anything else at the moment.